Is it worth the extra time and effort to make a homemade pie? Or should you skip that hassle and just buy one at the store?
Thanksgiving is coming up, so this month we're gonna help you get ready for it. We're starting out with the most important part about Thanksgiving, dessert first, of course.
Yep.
So today we've got the two most popular types of Thanksgiving pies. We've got pumpkin and we've got apple, and we've got a store-bought and homemade of each. And we're gonna tell you guys if making the pie from scratch is worth the extra time and effort.
I went online and researched a bunch of different pies to see which one is the best brand for store-bought frozen pie, and also which 5-star recipe everyone loved. So we are bringing you the best of the frozen and the best of the homemade.
Yeah.
A bunch of people online rated different store-bought pies, and Marie Callender's, they actually won it for both the apple and the pumpkin. Some of you guys probably have your own favorite. Costco actually came in really close. A couple places said that Costco had a better pumpkin pie, but we ended up going with Marie Callender's. And for the 5-star recipes, we're gonna go ahead and put those in
the description.
So we're gonna put the recipe of the homemade pumpkin pies in the description so you guys can check those out, see where we got them, and if you end up wanting to make one of these for your own Thanksgiving feast, you can find the recipe there.
So we're starting off with the pumpkin pies. Here we have the homemade.
And the store-bought frozen.
All right, these both look pretty good, but I have to say, just based off of looks, the homemade is definitely winning for me.
That thing looks delicious. And
Yeah.
the other thing is, if you're serving a big crowd, this isn't all that big, so you either might want to get two or go with the homemade for
And you know
a
what?
size.
We were just talking about how they cost about the same to just buy the pie or to buy all the ingredients, but that one is a little bit smaller, so I guess you might be getting a little bit more for your money.
That's right.
With the homemade.
And also, in my opinion, the homemade looks nicer, it looks better, and you know, there's nothing wrong, no shame in buying a frozen store-bought, but if you really want to impress, the homade's definitely better.
Maybe the store-bought tastes a lot better.
It might. That's
We'll
what
see.
we're about to find out.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, plate, sir. There you go.
Thank you. Do you know about how much time it took to make the pumpkin pie?
The apple one took a little longer because of cutting the apples
Yeah,
open.
this one you pretty much just had to make the crust and then combine some ingredients, including the pumpkin and probably some sugar and stuff like that. And then you basically just pour it in and then you can cook it.
Look at that. It's
That's
beautiful.
what the homemade slice looks like.
All right, plate.
Thank
I
you.
know that you love to eat, so I gave you the larger piece.
Oh, I thank you. I'll probably be finishing both of those. But in terms of looks on the inside, they're very similar.
About the same color. The top of this looks a little shinier on the store-bought one.
Yeah.
I think this one looks better.
The store-bought?
No.
Oh, the
no,
homemade.
homemade.
Okay.
I think it looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
The crust looks almost identical though.
All right, well, I'm taking a bite.
You're digging in for the homemade.
Homemade.
All right.
Still warm. Very nice. Very good tasting.
That's delicious.
Tastes
I
like a
think.
pumpkin pie.
I love it. That's super good.
Oh, yeah.
It's got good spices in there. The nutmeg, the cinnamon, that taste, that flavor really comes through. It's delicious, I think, and good texture as well.
Now, I just tried the store-bought. Take a bite and tell me what you think.
You know what? The store-bought tastes more like, well, I don't like it as much, but the first instant it touched my my
Sugar.
tongue, yeah, it's more sugary. Tasted like when I was a kid. So I don't know if my mom maybe.
Tasted like when you were a kid?
Yeah, like it brought me back to
Oh, I see.
when I was a kid. Maybe because I can't imagine my mom did frozen pies, but maybe she did. I don't know. Anyway, it's good.
Is it worth the extra hour or 45 minutes or 30 minutes to make the homemade?
You know what? Hold on. Let me take one more little bite of
Honestly,
each.
okay, it might be a little bit better tasting, but in my opinion, it's not that much better.
Rolling out the dough.
It's really not, yeah.
Mixing all the ingredients. Yeah, I mean, it does take some extra time, but
Yeah.
all right, my opinion is yes. The frozen store-bought Marie Callender's is good, but it kind of leaves a slightly weird film or something on my tongue, which this one doesn't.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just like the flavors of this one better. So maybe it kind of depends on what you're trying to go for.
Right.
And how much time you have. If you're spending a ton of time on something else like stuffing and turkey and mashed potatoes, and you just don't have time to make homemade pies, then this is definitely not a bad pie.
Definitely not.
But if you want to go the next level and impress and make everything super good, then I would definitely go with the homemade.
Okay, I guess I'll agree. And what's pushing it over the edge is that the homemade pie looks a lot better
It looks pretty amazing.
than the store-bought. So since the taste is a little bit better, I wouldn't say it's that much better. I guess you might say that, but in my opinion, the taste isn't that much better, but it is a little bit better, and it looks a lot better. So based off of that, I'll say it's worth it.
I'm totally in for the homemade.
Okay.
I think it was really good.
So pumpkin pie, it's worth it
Yep.
for the homemade.
Me lobby.
So now on to the apple pies. These ones definitely look a lot different. This one has the crumble on top, and also, I don't know, has a lot darker of a look, and I think, is that apple there on the outside?
That's just the apple filling that's kind of oozing out. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
lot darker. It looks, I don't know, more syrupy or something.
Yeah, so they're definitely a lot different. You can very much so tell that
Yeah.
this is the homemade one.
Yep, and this one is a double crust, so it's got a crust on the bottom, crust on top.
Okay, I'm ready to eat them.
And the pumpkin pie is good, and I like pumpkin pie, but apple pie,
Yeah, apple pie. I have to say
yeah.
I like it better.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one.
All right, let's do it. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure the store-bought is not going to look like this on the inside. That looks very good.
And we forgot a little bit of...
Oh, yes, I'm going to need that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I was just about to take a bite, but I guess I should probably wait for the store-bought.
Hold your horses.
I'm a little excited.
Oh, that looks good.
Okay, something to mention. The apple pie takes a lot longer to make homemade than the pumpkin
Right.
because you have to wash the apples. This is completely from scratch, so bought our own apples from the store.
Granny Smith?
You gotta wash them, you gotta peel them, you gotta cut them up, you gotta do everything.
Yep. So, yeah, that was a lot of extra time to make the apple pie, but I guess we're going to see again. Is it worth it?
Yeah. So maybe on this one, if the homemade just tastes very slightly better, I might have to say it's not worth it because of all the extra time that it took
I
to
can't
make
even
it.
see where I just cut this. It's the crumble's hiding.
Too much
my
crumble.
The frozen one is smaller.
They look different on the inside too. The store-bought is darker. Oh, thank you.
We're going store-bought first?
Yep, we are. All right, I'm going in.
Okay, do it. It's good.
It's a great apple pie,
It's really good.
but I haven't tasted the homemade yet.
I like the crumble on top.
I'm going in for another bite
It's
before
a
I
little
even...
different. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
That was very good.
You know what? I don't see like tons of apples in there. In fact, it's mostly just
tasted-
kind of like goo.
Oh, really? I got a big apple chunk right here. I'm gonna get out and show everyone. Look at that apple chunk. That whole
Oh yeah,
thing's an
you
apple
got a
chunk.
big one. I think I just got goo in mine, but the goo is good.
It's some good goo.
All right, time to move on to the homemade apple. Wow, it looks super good.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if it tastes good too. Wow, it's very different.
Very, very different. Not as sugary. More tart.
Yep, it is a little bit more tart.
More like real apples.
Yep, like you can definitely taste the apples.
Doesn't have that same crumble on top either.
To me, this one has a slight advantage because it's warm, and I really
Yeah.
like warm apple pie.
But we probably shouldn't take that into account very much.
No, okay, here's my opinion. This one tastes homemade.
Yes.
This one is definitely sweeter. I'm not sure if, I think I actually like the flavor of this one better. I can just like, I don't know, there's more complexity to the flavor in this
Yeah.
one, in my opinion. And I kind of actually like the tartness a little bit. But I don't know.
I want to say the homemade is better or is worth it. I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I can.
This is a tougher one.
And it's sad because we spent so much time on the homemade one. We want it to be better, but I don't know.
think
Are
it
you
is
thinking,
better.
Are
I
you
think-
thinking the same thing as me?
I think it is better. I guess the only thing is, here are two things for the homemade. It looks better, it's larger, and it tastes homemade. It's like kind of got more complex flavors going on. So if that is enough, even if the flavor isn't better, because I would say the flavor between the two, they're both really good.
Yeah.
So I guess.
But washing the apples, peeling the apples, cutting the apples,
I know.
making all of that, is it worth it?
I guess it depends on how much you want to impress your guests at Thanksgiving, because you're going to impress them with this because it looks gorgeous and it still tastes really good, and it tastes homemade. This one tastes really good. It's not super good looking.
Not bad looking.
It
It's
doesn't
very
look
different.
bad.
It's very
yeah.
different.
I don't know. I could go either way on this one. As far as it being worth the extra
Yeah,
effort.
I'm just gonna have to say no. It's not worth it.
Okay, and I'm kind of on the fence. I like this one better.
But the extra time, I don't know. I think maybe. Okay, so pumpkin. If you're making pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, then make it homemade. That's worth it. You get a lot of extra spice in there. Apple, I don't know. If you have a bunch of other things that you have to make, if you're making stuffing and mashed potatoes and all of that, and pie isn't the most important part for you, then maybe just get the store brand.
Probably just a little bit different taste than the homemade, but it's still excellent apple pie. So Thanksgiving is just around the corner. As you're planning and thinking about what you're gonna do, consider whether or not you wanna go with a frozen store-bought or with the homemade. Either one is awesome, but I'm kind of in favor of the homemade.
So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to come back next Friday for another Thanksgiving related video, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to leave it a like. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Okay. Eat this pie, baby. Eat it up like a Friday, Tuesday.